Franchises is hereby resumed.
Let us all please stand for a prayer for our frontliners.
Nabathalang pagpapala para sa mga COVID-19 frontliners. Isang panalangin. Panginoong Diyos, sa gitna ng kasalukuyang pakikipagdigma namin laban sa COVID-19 pandemic, ay dumudulog kami sa iyo para sa iyong mabathalang pagpapala sa mga bayaning nangunguna sa amin sa labang ito. Ang mga doktor, nurse, at iba pang medical professionals, ang mga siyentipiko at iba pang dalubhasa sa larangan ng kalusugan, ang mga opisyal at kawani ng pamahalaan, kasama na ang mga sundalo at mga pulis, ang mga media practitioners, ang mga manggagawa sa sektor ng pagkain, ang mga manggagawa sa simbahan, at mga driver, gwardiya at janitor. Sa tapang, katapatan at husay nila sa pagganap ng kanilang tungkulin sa paglaban sa COVID-19 pandemic, nagtintalaan mo po sila ng biyaya ng inyong pagsandalan laban sa anumang kapahamakan at biyaya ng patnubay sa kanilang paglilingkod. Sa hirap ng katawan at isip na kanilang dinaranas dahil sa mga kakulangan at kahinaan ng sistemang pangkalusugan sa aming bansa, biyayaan mo po sila ng ginhawang madarama nila sa kanilang puso, ang ginhawang mula sa katotohanan dahil sa kanila ay nasasagip mula sa kamatayan ng amin. Sa pagsasakripisyo nila ng panahon at pagkakataon na makapiling, mayakap at mapangalagaan ang kanilang pamilya para makapaglingkod sa lipunan at sa mga biktima ng COVID-19, pagkalooban mo po sila ng biyaya ng pangangalaga sa kanilang mga mahal sa buhay laban sa virus na kanila ring nilalabanan para sa iba. Sa hindi marapat at hindi makatarungang diskriminasyon na nararanasan ng marami sa kanila, pagkalooban mo po sila ng biyaya ng pangunawa sa kahinaan at kamalian ng iba at ng biyaya ng tibay ng loob na patuloy na maglingkod sa kabila nito at iba pang pagsubok. At sa marami sa kanila na nagbuwis ng buhay dahil sa pakikipaglaban sa COVID-19 pandemic, kupkupin mo po sila sa iyong kaharian at pawiin ang lungkot at pangungulila ng kanilang mga pamilya at kaibigan. Panginoong Diyos, paspasan mo ang mga COVID-19 frontliners upang hindi namin sila patuloy na manguna sa amin sa pagsubok na ito kung hindi patuloy rin silang magiging namin sa pagiging bayani para sa iba at sa aming bayan. Gawaran mo po, Panginoong Diyos, ng iyong mabathalang pagpapala ang mga anak mong COVID-19 frontliners dahil sila ay tunay na daluyan ng iyong pagkalinga at pagmamahal sa amin. Amen.
Please remain standing for the dispense.
Let's now proceed to the reading and approval of the minutes.
Mr. Chairman,
Kong Boying.
I move to dispense with the reading of the minutes of the joint meeting of the Committee on Legislative Franchises and Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability held on 29 and 30 of June, July 1, 2, and 6, 2020. And I move to approve the same.
There's a motion. Second, Mike. Second.
Second the motion.
Seconded. Duly seconded. Without any objection, motion is approved.
Motion's approved.
Good afternoon. We concluded last Monday the hearing on the franchise application of ABS-CBN. Today, we will hear the summation and closing of arguments for and against the application. For this 13th meeting, we are joined again by members in the plenary and via Zoom. The Secretariat will record your attendance. Thank you for your presence and patience to be with us. Comsec, please recognize our guests from ABS-CBN who are now attending via Zoom.
Good afternoon. We have the ABS-CBN officers, Via Zoom, Mr. Martin Lopez, Chairman, Mr. Carlo Katigbak, CEO, Ms. Cory Bidana, COO for Broadcast, Attorney Enrique Quiazon, Corporate Secretary, and Mr. Ricardo Tan, Group CFO. We have also Attorney Ayo Bautista, their legal counsel, and Ms. Connie Lopez, COS.
Mr. Chair, ngayong araw po ay ang katapusan na ng ating hearing at magkakaroon po tayo ng summation ng mga issue sa mga kasagutan na tinalakay sa nakaraang 12 pagdinig. Binabati po namin at nagpapasalamat kami sa mga miyembro ng House Blue Ribbon Committee, maging ng legislative franchises na nakasama po natin sa ating pagpupulong, maging sa ating mga guest at resource speakers, particular ang mga eksekutibo ng ABS-CBN. Ang ating pong hearing ay napapanood live stream sa Facebook page ng House of Representatives at gayon din po sa live stream page ni Kuya Jonathan C. Alvarado. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Sa kabuuan, ang Joint Committee ay nagkaroon ng 12 pagdinig sa mga isyong may kaugnayan na naging performance ng ABS-CBN sa pagpatupad nito sa mga probisyon na nakasaad sa kanyang prangkisa. Maliban pa po ang March 10 meeting ng Committee on Legislative Franchises. Ngayong araw, atin pong pakikinggan ang pagsusuma ng mga usaping lumabas sa mga pagdinig mula po sa panig ng mga pro-ABS-CBN at mga tumututol po sa pagbibigay muli ng prangkisa sa network. Inimbita rin po natin ang ABS-CBN officer sa Zoom sa pulong natin ngayong hapon, just in case may nais pang linawin sa kanila.
Matapos po ang 12 pagdinig ng ating mga komite, inabot po tayo ng humigit kumulang 100 oras na nakalap mula sa stakeholders, mga isyong may kaugnayan sa paglabag sa konstitusyon, franchise, labor, and tax laws. Kinakailangan natin itong gawin upang tugunan ang panawagan ni Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano na kung saan sinabi niyang kailangang patas, komprehensibo ang pagtatalakay ng mga issue kaugnayan sa prangkisa ng ABS-CBN. Sapat po siguro ang 12 araw at magiging summation ngayon upang mabigyan ang mga miyembro ng legislative franchises at para na rin sa paggabay ng mga miyembro ng Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability. Ngayong araw po ang summation at tayo po yung magdesisyon kung kailan ang pagboto. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Maraming salamat, Kong Mike. Ngayon, bago tayo dumako sa summation, meron po tayong mga ilang members na meron lang pong mga manifestation. So, una po dito, nandyan po kasama natin sa Zoom, si Congressman Abellanosa. Kong Abellanosa, you are recognized po para sa iyong manifestation. Habang inaayos po siguro ni Kong Abellanosa yung connection niya, puntahan muna natin si Congressman Edsel Lagman para din sa kanyang maikling manifestation. Kong Lagman.
Hello.
Go ahead po, Kong Lagman, malinaw po.
Hello. Can I be heard, Mr. Chairman?
Malinaw po, Kong Edsel, please proceed.
Joint Chairman, I just would like to manifest that earlier this afternoon, I filed my summation by reiterating the previous 5 summations I have done with respect to the 5 constitutional issues. And also, I have reiterated my assessment with respect to the other issues. There was a covering letter addressed to both chairmen for this summation. Thank you so much for accommodating my request to submit that separate summation. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Maraming salamat po kung Edsa Lagman. At tulad po ng ating sinasabi lagi, lahat po ng members naman ng committee nito ay libre po gumawa ng sarili po nilang summation at assessment ng ating pong mga naging hearings. Pwede po ninyo yung i-submit naman po sa committee yan ang inyong mga sariling mga assessment. Hindi naman po bawal po yan. Noted po sa inyong assessment ay sa inyong sariling assessment, Congressman Edsa Lagman. Ngayon po, si Kong Abel Llanosa, nandiyan na ba? Wala pa rin. Si Kong Paduano, meron pong manifestation. Kong Paduano, kung ready na po kayo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Can you hear me, Mr. Chairman?
Malinaw po.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chairman of both committees, Chairman Alvarez, Chairman Alvarado, distinguished colleagues, co-authors, and authors of this House bills, resource person via Zoom, good afternoon. Mr. Chairman, I choose to be silent behind the series of joint congressional committee hearings on the quest of ABS-CBN broadcast network to have its franchise renewed. Though a co-author of House Bill 3713 that aims to grant for the renewal of ABS-CBN franchise, for one thing, I believe I should not be biased from the start of the committee deliberations. The same is true, Mr. Chairman, as to revelations and issues brought into open by the hearings. Despite my silence since day one, Mr. Chairman, I have been closely monitoring the proceedings, inquiries, discussions, the pros and cons, especially from the resource persons. The exchanges between the executives and legal counsels of the biggest media network in the country and from my distinguished colleagues and those with supporting as well as opposing stand on the matters at hand have unearthed a lot of things. Everything was an eye-opener not only for the House but also for the general public. Mr. Chairman, in my several years in the House, I had been consistent in my stand on pressing issues, no matter whether I was bashed or praised on multiple platforms. I stood my ground in advancing what I perceived to be necessary and vital. To drive my point, Mr. Chairman, allow me to cite examples of controversial bills in the House in my more than 6 years as member of this. When the death penalty bill, Mr. Chairman, was voted upon, I firmly stood on my opposition to it. I voted no because I believe it is not a deterrent against illegal drugs and crimes. To the point I even let go membership in the majority all my committee memberships and vice chairmanship during the 17th Congress in my opposition to the death penalty resurrection. Subsequently, moves to revive the death penalty bill to gain steam in the 17th Congress, while the House swiftly passed the bill in March 2017, minus, of course, my vote. Its counterpart measure remained with the Senate until the last session day. I remain steadfast on my stand against it. When we supported the train law, Mr. Chairman, I also stressed that the law will guarantee that a portion of the revenue from sugar-sweetened beverages be passed to the sugar industry. Coming from the sugar-producing region of the country, I had to stand for the interests of the industry that redounds to my region. It's not for the compromise amendment, I might have voted the other way. Thanks to former Majority Floor Leader Rodi Pariñas and to former Speaker Pantaleon Alvarez. When the anti-terror bill was voted upon, Mr. Chairman, I voted a resounding yes because I believe in the objectives and the boost the law can give the Filipino people and the whole country in general. Despite of the lobbying, the intense social media propaganda and pressure, of course, thanks to our very own, our esteemed minority pro leader, Bene Abante, for respecting and understanding my stand on the issue. This time, Mr. Chairman, I am again expressing and exercising what to me is fair in the midst of recent revelation in relation to ABS-CBN quest for a fresh mandate on its franchise. Although ABS-CBN has been dodging allegation of not paying the correct taxes, there seems to be an engagement with tax avoidance scheme by availing fiscal perks. Big Dipper Digital Content, a subsidiary of ABS-CBN that processes films and TV shows for export to other countries and to different digital platforms, is a company registered with the PESA, or Philippine Economic Zone Authority, the country's largest economic zone operator that offers fiscal perks such as waiving of income tax payments and levy-free imports to certain shipments. Big Dipper is perceived as a tax shield for the media giant. Legally, Mr. Speaker, there is nothing wrong with Big Dipper as a PESA-registered company, but ABS-CBN has been funneling some of its income to Big Dipper, which gives some moral points that it is doing so to avoid paying taxes, higher taxes. Mr. Chairman, Big Dipper is a vehicle to reduce the amount of taxes ABS-CBN must pay. From 30%, ABS-CBN will only pay 5% by transferring its income, some of its income to Big Dipper, which is a systematic practice it has been employing. This is how common and unbiased Filipinos easily understand and see the connection between the creation of the Big Dipper. Mr. Chairman, the series of hearings of brought back what I have also personally experienced in terms of fairness and balanced reporting and in tackling issues through the stations of ABS-CBN. It also brought back issues raised by Senior Deputy Minority Floor Leader Janet Garin, the former DOH Secretary. Issues had been repeatedly expounded in almost every hearing with the DOH. Another example, Mr. Chairman, when ABS-CBN Ted Filon keep criticizing a colleague, a congressman whom I personally know, for whatever purpose, not renaming him, but describing him very obviously, he did not give the congressman a chance to air his side. Mr. Chairman, and recently, during the time of BCQ, sometime March or April, ABS-CBN, based on a mere Facebook comment, Mr. Chairman, attack on air the quarantine facility in my hometown, Enrique B. Magalona, the province of Negros Occidental. Again, Mr. Chairman, without first getting the facts and considering the circumstances. That was also the time we were calling for volunteers to join us in the fight against COVID. The local government units and volunteers in my hometown were behind the setting up of our first provincial quarantine facility in the province of Negros Occidental. It is in the spirit of voluntarism in my own hometown, Mr. Chairman. ABS-CBN had been advocating voluntarism, Mr. Chairman, having one of the biggest numbers of volunteers nationwide. And yet, through biased reporting, the facility put up negates that advocacy, Mr. Chairman. In the above cases, that combusting lasted for months, without the network getting the side of officials, Mr. Chairman. At the 12 formal hearings on ABS-CBN renewal of its franchise by the Committee on Legislative Franchises and Good Government and Public Accountability ended, with regulations behind the media network made public through its. Though, Mr. Chairman, it is hard for me, I came to a conclusion that I am withdrawing my co-authorship of House Bill number 3713 that aims to grant the renewal of the franchise of ABS-CBN. Mr. Chairman, before I end, I wish to ask for apology and understanding of my distinguished colleagues, Representative Joy Tambunting, the principal author of the said House Bill, and to ABS-CBN President, Sir Carlo Katigbak, sir, and to the ABS-CBN family. Thank you for this opportunity, Mr. Chairman. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat po, Congressman Paduano. Ang next po na mag-manifest ay si Congressman Ron Salo. Congressman Salo.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Sige, please proceed po.
In light of my previous withdrawal of my authorship of House Bill 6901, I respectfully manifest to the Honorable Committee that by the same be laid on the table. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Noted po, Congressman Salo. Thank you. Ang next mag-manifest, Congressman Mike Defensor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, nito pong huling hearing natin dun sa political bias or sa bias ng ABS-CBN, hindi po masyadong nailinaw kung ano ba ang binabanggit nating sitwasyon o yung ating definisyon ng bias. Naintindihan ko po, marami tayong mga kasama na may sariling mga interpretasyon o pananaw dun sa personal nilang naging experience dito sa bias na pananaw nila na lumabas ng mga pahayag sa ABS-CBN. But Mr. Chairman, I think the more important issue of bias is actually the very foundation of the franchise issue of ABS-CBN. Ito po tingin ko, Mr. Chairman, dun sa aking binanggit, ang pundasyon kung saan at bakit tayo nagkakaproblema sa pahayag ng ABS-CBN, partikular sa pagtutulak ng kanilang interes at negosyo. Mr. Chairman, ang ating Pangulo nagsasalita po sa oligarkiya or oligarchy. Ang definisyon po ng oligarchy ay isang maliit na grupo na nagkokontrol ng ating Estado. At ang grupo pong to, ang tinutulak niya, ang kanyang pansariling interes. Partikular sa issue ng ABS-CBN ay ang paggamit ng mass media, ang paggamit ng pagpapahayag para itulak ang kanyang sariling interes. And so, Mr. Chairman, when the President mentions that we should dismantle the oligarchy in the Philippines o wasakin natin ang oligarkiya sa Pilipinas, ang kanyang tinutukoy, ang maliit na grupo na nagkokontrol sa ating bansa, nagkokontrol sa kinabukasan ng bawat Pilipino. Ang Pangulo po, nagpapalit bawat 6 na taon. Ang kongresista nagpapalit bawat 3 taon. Ang senador, 6 na taon. Ang politika ho, palit ng palit. Pero ang malalaking negosyante sa ating bansa ay patuloy na namamayagpag. Nag-iiba ang politiko, nag-iiba ang liderato, pero ang interes sa kanilang negosyo ay patuloy. If I may, Mr. Chairman, I would like to quote the book of Mr. Alfred McCoy. The particular part of this is the rent-seeking families and the state. The book was written entitled Anarchy of Families, State and Family in the Philippines. And if I may quote, dito po sa libro niya, binanggit niya na, noong 1992 sabi niya, si Mr. Henny Lopez ay naging chairman ng Media Citizens Quick Count. At pumasok siya doon sa eleksyon. Hindi lang po naman 1992 yan, maging mga nakaraang eleksyon. Sa particular na eleksyon na to, tinulungan niya si Presidente Ramos. At dahil nga nanalo si Presidente Ramos, na-consolidate ulit ang poder ng politika. At particular, Mr. Chairman, ang negosyo dito sa ating bansa ng Lopez family. At dito po sa kanyang konklusyon, sinabi niya, above all, the history of the Lopez family illustrates the symbiosis between the weak Philippine state and the strength of the country's dominant political families. A contradictory pairing of the state's broad economic powers with the executive's role as a political patron has made rent-sinking an imperative for major Filipino families. Through their reliance upon rents, ano po ba yung rent-seeking? Ito po yung mga pabor sa paggamit ng poder ng ating gobyerno. Ito po yung monopolya na paggamit ng poder ng gobyerno para sa inyong negosyo. An imperative for major Filipino families. The reliance upon rents, these families can exploit the state's financial resources and regulatory powers to create optimum conditions from the growth of their corporations. Mr. Chairman, they say that a vote for the continuance of the franchise or a release or a granting of a franchise to ABS-CBN is a suppression of press freedom. But I say, Mr. Chairman, that a yes vote to stop the franchise is a vote to stop perpetuation of an oligarchic state, an oligarchy that continue to suppress our people. Mr. Chairman, if I may show the slide, ito pong isyong to ay isang maliit na bahagi ng problema sa atin, sa ating bansa. At ito rin po ay nakabalot sa negosyong itinutulak ng pamilyang Lopez. Mr. Chairman, ang Meralco po ay napunta sa pamilya Lopez ng taong panahon ng Pangulong Garcia. Hindi ho yan kahapon lang. Hanggang sa ngayon po, at kailan lamang nawala sa kanilang pagmamayari. Pero 55% po ng binabayaran nating kuryente ay galing sa mga planta or power plants na kanilang pinagagalingan sa pagdaan sa Meralco. Next slide. Mr. Chairman, ito pong mga plantang to, ang FGPC o First Gas Power Corporation, FGP Corporation, ay nagkaroon ng kontrata noong 1995, March 14, at July 22, 1999. Yan po ay may 25 taon, 25 years contract sa ating bansa na magtatapos ng 2025 at 2027. Ang Meralco ng panahong pinirmahan ng kontratang yan, sila din may-ari. Pumirma ang Meralco sa parehong kumpanya na silang nagmamay-ari. Next slide. Ito po ay garantisado. Kailangan bilhin ang kuryente na kanilang pinoproduce. Kailangan po nabayaran kahit gamitin o hindi ng Meralco. At syempre, sino ang nagbabayad? Ang ating pong taong bayan. Whatever cost, kanina ko pinakita ko sa inyo, 55%. 55% po ang nanggagaling sa power generation. Next slide. Ito po ay nabili ng Metro Pacific ng 2010 lamang. So for the past several years, since 1995 and 1999, Ang power generation, pag-aari ng Lopez, ang Meralco, pag-aari ng Lopez. Pero dahil po nakatali ang kontrata hanggang 2025 at 2029 ay wala tayong magagawa. Kailangan nating bayaran ang kuryenteng yan, kailangan nating magbayad sa Meralco. Kahit na po ang Meralco gustong ibaba ang presyo ng kuryente, ay wala silang magagawa. Next slide please. Diyan po sa slide na yan, makikita po na ang kuryente na nanggagaling sa First Gas Power Corporation, Santa Rita, at yung FGP Corporation, almost 30% ang binibili sa kanila ng Meralco. Diyan po nakalista rin ang iba pang mga power plants katulad ng South Premier Power Corporation, San Miguel Energy Corporation, na meron din pong kontrata sa Meralco. Next slide.
Baka makulat ka.
Ang binayaran po ng Meralco sa kanila noong 2018 ay 232 billion. Noong 2019
napakahirap dipinsahan.
ay 241 billion. Ang presyo po, ang binibili natin ng Meralco sa lahat ng power plants ay 86%. So the cost of what we pay, yung binabayaran po ng bawat bahay, 86% po yan ay nanggagaling sa power generation na binibili ng Meralco. Next slide. Diyan po makikita kung ano ang nangyari, kung bakit tayo nagkaroon ng kontrata. 1,500 megawatts ang binibili po natin at kontrata na kailangan natin bilhin sa FGP Corporation at FGPC, which will end in 2025, yung FGPC, at yung FGP po 2027. Kung naalala po ng ating mga kasama, nandito rin po yung mga kasama natin, si Chairman Alvarado was part of the Good Government Committee. Ang sabi nga po ng Meralco, 55% ng inyong binabayarang kuryente hindi po galing sa amin, galing dun sa binibili namin sa mga planta. Ang tanong po natin, ba't di nyo ibaba? Eh wala po kaming magawa. And if I recall, many of our colleagues were saying, can we review the contracts?
Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair.
Kausarate.
May I raise a point of order? Gusto ko sanang payagan na magtuloy-tuloy yung manifestation ni Congressman Defensor. Pero po, gusto ko lang banggitin dito na yung issue na nire-raise ni Congressman Defensor about Meralco ay alam naman natin na hindi na yung related sa dapat agenda natin sa hapon na ito. Ako po ay kaisa ni Congressman Defensor sa usaping imbestigahan ang mga maanumalyang kontratang yan na pinasok ng mga nagdaang administrasyon. Isa ho sa advokasya namin yan. Pero kung dito po natin ipapasok yan sa puntong ito na ang binanggit natin ay summation ng mga argumento na nangyari noong nakaraang 12 pagdinig, nire-raise ko po ito dahil may mga bagong issues na nilalabas dito na hindi na bibigyan ng pagkakataon ang ABS-CBN na sumagot. Kung gustong erase ang mga issues na yan, sa tingin ko yung Committee on Good Government ay sinasabi nilang magtutuloy-tuloy ang investigasyon nito, or even sa Committee on Energy ay wala hong magpipigil na buksan muli ang mga usaping yan. Para lang ho sa magandang daloy ng ating hearing ngayon na malinaw naman ang naka-schedule. Is a summation of the hearings we conducted in the past 12 hearings. Sana po ay mabigyan ng katugunan ito ng ating mga nangungulo sa meeting na ito. Salamat po.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Vice Chairman Defensor.
Mr. Chairman, napakaganda po ng binanggit ni Congressman Zarate. Ngunit nung ako po nga po yung magsimula, ang aking binanggit ay yung political bias. Sa isa pong pananaw, Mr. Chairman, at ako nanawagan din kay Congressman Zarate, dahil alam ko pong kayo ang isa sa mga nauna upang tingnan at sabing i-review ang itong mga kontratang to. Congressman Zarate, ang maaaring hindi natin nakikita at bibigyan ko ng pagkakataong sumagot ang Lopez, na katulad nga po ng sinasabi ko, ito pong usapin na to ay pagpagtatalaga ng isang oligarkiya. Ang ABS-CBN po ay hindi walay sa Meralco o sa first power plant, sa first generation gas plant. Ito po ay isang galamay ng mga negosyo na kung saan tinutulak nila ang kanilang interes. At bilang po isa sa mga nagmamahal ng bayan, Congressman Zarate, ako din po yung nananawagan sa inyo na wag lang po nating tingnan to bilang issue ng mass media. Tingnan natin ang kabuuan na kung saan ang oligarkiya ay tinutulak ang kanilang interes sa pamamagitan ng paggamit ng mass media para po sa katulad nitong negosyo ng pagtaas ng ating kuryente. Nananawagan din po ako sa inyo, Congressman Zarate, na lawakan natin ang ating pananaw sa pagtalakay ng issue ng ABS-CBN. Ako po'y naniniwala na nakikita ninyo ang maraming mga issue na bumabalot sa ating lipunan at isa sa inyong mga pinaglalaban ay ang pagtigil ng malalaking interes, ang pagtigil ng mga interes na nakakasama sa ating pangkalatang sambayanan. At kailangan po sana, Mr. Chairman, Congressman Zarate, katulad po ng aking sinabi, nung nahuling hearing po, ang mga political bias na nabanggit, ay hindi ko po nakikita yung kabuang pananaw na kung saan nagagamit ang mass media sa isang personal at malalaking negosyanteng interes dito sa ating bansa, Mr. Chairman.
Vice Chairman Defensor, sa susunod na linggo po, Wednesday, 1 p.m. ay magkakaroon tayo ng pagpapatuloy ng hearing natin sa usapin po ng Meralco at ng iba't iba pang power concessionaires. Una, kung paano mapapababa yung singil. Pangalawa, kung paano maaayos yung sistema ng paniningil. At papayagan po kita na
Mr. Chairman,
ibukas ang usapin, ang mas malalim na usapin tungkol sa history ng Meralco mula pa nung panahon ng mga Lopez hanggang po sa pagkakalipat sa bagong ng mga nagmamay-ari po at nagmamanage po nito.
Mr. Chairman, first of all, my
Yes,
manifestation,
Vice Chairman Defensor.
my manifestation is my time. This is a summation, and we have already given the time of summation to the other members of this committee. My manifestation is my time, and I particularly raise an issue on political bias. I'm not going out of hand, Mr. Chairman, because precisely, Meralco was owned by the Lopez, FGP was owned by the Lopezes, FGPC, or the First Gas Power Corporation, is owned by the Lopezes. And I'm saying, and I'm putting the connection of ABS-CBN as a mass media corporation connected to these businesses. And so, Mr. Chairman, I'm not talking of any other business. If I am raising a manifestation based on these points on political biases, then I will say it, Mr. Chairman. Because history, if ever we vote to kill this franchise, would show that there are violations of the constitutions and laws of this country. But more importantly, Mr. Chairman, that we did service to our country, to the future of this nation, by killing another oligarchy. And that is my point, Mr. Chairman.
Vice Chairman Mike Defensor, maraming salamat sa napakagandang punto. At both chairman of this joint committees ay mataas po ang pagtingin, lalong-lalo na sa mga bagay na isiniwalat mo ngayong araw na ito. At maganda rin po na narinig ng ating mga kababayan. At sabi ko nga po sa iyo, katulad po ng sinabi ko sa iyo kanina, bibigyan kita ng mas mahabang oras tungkol sa usaping ito sa pagdinig po natin sa Wednesday. At para po sa ating mga tagapanood ngayong araw na ito, kayo po ay inaanyayahan namin sa magiging hearing patungkol sa Meralco. At marami pa pong sasabihin at mas malalim pang talakayan kagaya po nito ang ating mapapakinggan sa ating mga kasama na kongresista at isa na po doon si Vice Chairman Mike Defensor. Vice Chairman Mike, tapos na ba ang iyong manifestation o ipagpapatuloy mo pa ang iyong
Mr. Chairman,
manifestation?
3 more slides. Actually po, 3 slides na lang po, tapos na po ako.
You may continue, Vice Chairman Defensor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Next slide, please. Sige po, Mr. Chairman, i-summarize ko lang po dun sa, yan. Kung makikita nyo po, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, nagsimula po to ng 2010. Ang pong garantiya, guaranteed na kailangan natin bilhin ay 14 billion 295 million kilowatt hours at 63 billion 574 million. Noong 2015 po, 89 billion 994 million. Next slide please. Mr. Chairman, ito po ang pangkalatang binabayaran ng 2011, 2012, 2013. Again, it's 55 billion 360 million for First Gas Power Corporation and FGP, 2011, 2012, 2013. Next slide, please. Mr. Chairman, I will just end my manifestation. Inuulit ko po, ang nagsalita po tayo ng political bias hindi para sa personal na ating pananaw. Pag nagsalita tayo ng bias, tinitingnan natin ang malawakang impluensya ng mass media sa kanilang negosyo. Totoo, sa sitwasyon natin ngayon, maraming negosyante kinokontrol ang politika. Pero ibibigay mo pa ang pagkontrol ng mass media para itulak ang agenda at interes ng malalaking negosyante. That, Mr. Chairman, I will not allow. Thank you.
Maraming salamat, Kong Defensor. Ang sunod po na magbibigay ng kanyang manifestation ay si Congressman Mark Go. Congressman Go.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chairman, Congressman Franz Alvarez of the Committee on Legislative Franchises, Mr. Chairman Jonathan Alvarado of the Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability, honorable members of this august body, our friends from ABS-CBN, fellow sponsors, friends, ladies and gentlemen, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Let it be known that in the issue of granting ABS-CBN a new franchise, those bearing the brunt of the commotion surrounding it are not limited to the Lopezes or the Katigbaks or the network's roster of celebrities. Those who undoubtedly suffer from the lack of decisive action on ABS-CBN's authorization to operate, apart from the 11,071 workers and their families who stand to lose their livelihood in this pandemic, are the Filipino people. After having been present in all the 12 hearings on the franchise, having listened to the allegations forwarded by my honorable colleagues in Congress, my position remains that the franchise of ABS-CBN be swiftly granted. The issue surrounding ABS-CBN's franchise is ultimately an issue of public service and the national economy. As the largest broadcasting network in the country, ABS-CBN has undoubtedly been at the forefront of providing genuine public service to the Filipino people. When ABS-CBN's free television and radio broadcasts were shut down, many Filipinos in remote areas and less privileged communities lost their only source of information and entertainment. Vital especially in today's times as we deal with the physical and psychological effects of the pandemic and the community quarantine. Over the years, ABS-CBN has served as a primary source of information in times of natural calamities, terror attacks, and public health crisis. The network has always been at the forefront of mobilizing Filipinos in soliciting donations and joining relief operations during challenging times. As ABS-CBN's free broadcasts were ordered to be closed, we lost one of the biggest partners in communicating to Filipinos not only public health and safety measures, but also our national policies, guidelines, and plans of action in this fight against COVID-19. In a world where disinformation is prevalent and information and knowledge sharing is crucial in transitioning to a new normal, are we choosing to leave behind in darkness the many Filipinos from far-flung areas reached only by broadcast signals of ABS-CBN? Are we going to leave households vulnerable to the wrath of natural and public health calamities? For 60 years, ABS-CBN has not wavered in providing public service to the Filipino people. And to deny ABS-CBN a new franchise in these times is to deny the public of this renowned brand of public service when they need it most. As much as their public service creates a significant impact on the Filipino people, ABS-CBN is also a large contributor and driver of our national economy. In the last couple of months, we witnessed industries and global companies shut and or reduce their operations, leave the country, such as Honda, Philippines, Nokia, and Wells Fargo, and other enterprises, leaving behind thousands of Filipino workers without jobs to support themselves and their families in this crisis. Our local airline industry took a massive hit when we closed our local and international borders. Soon after, Philippine Airlines, Cebu Pacific, Air Asia, and One Aviation Ground Handling announced the retrenchment of thousands of their workers. Last April, our unemployment rate spiked at an all-time high of 17.7%, or 7.3 million Filipinos, all left without jobs and at the mercy of the wrath of this pandemic, not including thousands of returning OFWs. As ABS-CBN is the largest employer in the country's media and entertainment industry and is committed to the care and well-being of its workers, especially amid this crisis, why should we actively choose to cut the livelihood of 11,071 employees, talents, and service providers? It is a disservice to the interest of the Filipino people that we, the representatives who sworn an oath of public service, add to the rising toll of the unemployed and underemployed. We have more 11 million Filipino workers and their families who are asking that we allow them to continue in using their craft for nation building as taxpayers, as contributors to national productivity, as a source of Filipino pride. It was adequately shown during our hearings that ABS-CBN has been duly paying its obligations to the government. According to the BIR representative, ABS-CBN has paid more than 15 billion in taxes from 2016 to 2019 alone. The company has consistently been issued a tax clearance by the BIR, showing that it has duly paid its taxes. This is what we forgo. If we choose not to grant ABS-CBN a new franchise. We have a ballooning debt. Our economy needs to recover from the prolonged quarantine, and we need all the help we can get in order to support the programs of this administration, not only in combating COVID-19, but in all its future programs as well. By no means am I alleging that ABS-CBN is a perfect or a flawless company. Perhaps there is not any. I have done my part to listen to the different sides presented in this hearing in the spirit of fairness. Ultimately, however, the court is the proper forum to resolve if there is merit in the allegations thrown at the corporation. Thus, I implore my honorable colleagues to grant ABS-CBN a new franchise. Let us allow the company to partner with us in serving the Filipino people. Let us allow the company to correct its mistakes and hold them accountable should there be a clear finding of any violation of the relevant laws. Let us save the 11,071 Filipino workers and their families whose security is now hanging by a thread. When we grant ABS-CBN a new franchise, we work towards the interests of public service and the country's economy. Marami pong salamat at magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat.
Maraming salamat, Congressman Go. Ang susunod po na magbibigay ng kanyang manifestation ay si Congressman P.D. Barsaga. Kong PD.
Magandang hapon sa ating mga kasama. Una-una, sa aking pananaw, ang malayang pamamahayag o press freedom ay hindi issue sa ating renewal. Alam ng bawat isa sa atin na itinatadhana ng ating saligang batas ang karapatan for press freedom. At alam din ng bawat isa sa atin na base sa saligang batas, binibigyan din ng karapatan ang Kongreso ng Republika ng Pilipinas whether to approve or not to approve any franchise application including mass media. Kung sasabihin natin na magkakaroon ng paglabag ng malayang pamamahayag kung hindi natin a-approvean ang prangkisa na ina-apply sa atin, then our constitutional right and obligation to act on franchise application, which is exclusive to the House of Representatives, is meaningless, it would be useless, it would be merely illusory. Kaya sa aking tingin, hindi issue ang press freedom sa renewal o sa denial ng franchise ng ABS-CBN. Sa ating mga paghihiring, nakita natin ang ABS Holdings Corporation. Ditong lahat nilalagak ang mga shares of stocks ng ABS-CBN Corporation na umabot sa daang-daang milyong shares of stocks at PDR. Ngunit mula noong 1999 hanggang sa kasulukuyan, inamin ng accountant ng ABS-CBN Holdings Corporation na wala silang opisina, na wala silang full-time employee, at higit sa lahat, bagamat sila kung minsan ay mayroong net loss, mayroong mga milyong-milyong operating expenses, daang-daang milyong interest income, ngunit wala silang net income. Every year, wala silang binabayad na taxes. Nakita rin natin ang Big Dipper, na kung saan ito ay PESA registered, nagkakaroon ng pre-importation, nagkakaroon ng mga malalaking income, ngunit tax exempt sa PESA. Sinabi rin ng mga kinagawan ng ABS-CBN na kung sakasakaling meron silang hindi nabayarang buwis at magkakaroon ng assessment ang Bureau of Internal Revenue, they have the right to protest, at kung kinakailangan, pwede silang mag-compromise sapagkat ito ay isang karapatan na itinatadhana ng National Internal Revenue. Sa madaling sabi, ang lagi nilang sinasabi, tax avoidance ang aming ginagawa, at kung anumang karapatan ang aming ginagawa na hakbang, ito ay inaalaw o pinagbibigyan o hinahayaan ng ating mga batas. Narinig din natin ang mga hinaing ng mga empleyado ng ABS-CBN. Katulad ni Weng Hidalgo, magpapail sila ng kaso, magpapail sa labor arbitration, aabutin ng taon. Kapag sila ay nanalo o natalo, dadalhin sa National Labor Relations Commission, dadalhin sa Court of Appeals, and finally sa Korte Suprema. Umaabot ng 15 taon. At ang laging sinasabi ng ABS-CBN, that is our right. The right to contest the case filed against us from labor arbitration up to this Supreme Court. At sa usapin naman ng taxes, ang inahim ng ang lagi nilang sinasabi, kung PD, pag taxes ang pinag-uusapan, alam niyo naman, na kaming salaried employees, 15 at katapusan, automatic ang pagtatanggal ng aming withholding tax. Pero pagdating naman sa malalaking korporasyon, nakikita namin base sa inyong investigasyon at pahayag na hindi sila nagbabayad ng tamang buwis. Bilang isang manananggol, lagi naming sinasabi at laging pinapaalala sa akin ng ating mga magagaling na hukom, not everything licit is honorable. Hindi lahat ng hinahayaan ng batas ay marangal. We have the so-called corporate social responsibility. Meron din tayong ethical and moral considerations. Ngunit sa bilyong-bilyong kita ng ABS-CBN, bagamat sila ay may tax avoidance, bagamat ang kanilang ginagawa sa apelasyon ng kanilang mga empleyado o sa protest sa Bureau of Internal Revenue ay itinatadhana ng ating batas, I think the bigger issue would be the social and moral considerations of a big corporation like ABS-CBN Corporation tungkol sa kanilang pamamalakad para sa kapakanan ng bansang Pilipinas. Munti pa akong bata, naalala ko ang slogan ng isa sa pinakapopular na Pangulo ng ating bansa, si Ramon Magsaysay. Ang sabi niya, those who have less in life should have more in law. Ngunit sa nakikita ng ating mga kababayan, ang kanilang laging sinasabi sa akin, kung hindi sa ngayon, those who have less in life also have less in law. Maraming salamat at magandang hapon sa inyong lahat.
Maraming salamat, Kong PD. At ang para sa pinakahuli na magbibigay na kanyang maikling manifestation, si Congressman Bebat Abellanosa. Paki-unmute po, Kong Bebat.
Okay. Am I heard already, Mr. Chairman?
Okay na po. Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon to all of us who are into these proceedings now. Mr. Chairman, before the Committee on Legislative Franchises subjects the issue to a vote, with the indulgence of the chair and the members, allow me to make a few manifestations. Mr. Chairman, ABS-CBN through its various programs has been a significant part of many Filipinos' lives. For almost 7 decades, ABS-CBN has played a role in the Filipino household. It has served as a companion on the ride to and from work, a reprieve for some from their dull and dreary days as they reimagine their lives through the teleseries and movie characters, a primary source of news and information, especially for those with limited or non-existent access to the internet. For several thousands, one that provides an opportunity to earn either through employment or business transactions, and sometimes even to a lucky few, a fairy godmother that makes their wishes and dreams come true. To deprive them of a franchise is tantamount to curtailment of the freedom of expression, a basic right that has been enshrined in our 1987 Constitution precisely because of a similar, though not exactly the same series of events that threatened and derided such freedom of the press. Mr. Chairman, our mandate as Congress is to grant franchises so that public utilities, including broadcast networks, may be allowed to operate. If in the course of their operations, they violated some laws, then let the courts settle this, as that is the mandate of the judiciary, not ours. On the arguments about the corporation being an unjust employer, is our solution then a total shutdown so those employees enjoy proper benefits and salaries would equally lose their jobs? Should we also cancel the franchises of other networks engaging in similar practice, including the government-owned PTV4? We have been crying for unbiased media reporting, yet we complain when new segments go against our favor. This is a time of crisis, Mr. Chairman. We are in the midst of a pandemic that not only caused our health systems numerous problems with a continuously growing number of cases, but has also crippled our economy because of the necessary lockdown that was imposed in most of the country, especially here in the city of Cebu. The government, in its efforts to minimize the economic impact of the pandemic, has designed programs to assist companies to enable them to sustain their operations, thereby generating revenues and keeping employees at their jobs. To shut down an institution that has lasted for 2/3 of a century, one that has contributed greatly to economic activity, both directly and indirectly, would be an incongruent step towards the country's economic recovery. Mr. Chairman, I would like to ask that the committee members to really listen to their constituents and to vote according to the dictates of their conscience. I am, however, hoping that this issue can still proceed and be taken up in second reading, on third reading in the plenary, to give opportunity to all of us representatives of the people, to all members of the Committee on Legislative Franchises, and to have our voices also heard and our votes counted, given that this issue is of national importance. And in the end, Mr. Chairman, after everything has been said, for or against the bills seeking the grant of the ABS-CBN franchise, this representation from the 2nd District of Cebu City humbly calls on the members of the Committee on Legislative Franchises and the others who are called upon today to render a crucial judgment. Let us pause for a while, bow our heads in humility, close our eyes to our personal biases in order to open and let in a greater vision for our nation, and to seek further erudition and wisdom from the Almighty. And as we examine our conscience, guided by the enlightenment of the divine providence in making a final judicious vote, please ponder and cogitate and ask ourselves questions, talk to our conscience, and make a judgment, a wise and judicious judgment. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Maraming salamat, Kong Abellanosa. At ngayon naman po, atin pong hearing suspended for a few minutes.
Miso po. Monitoran mo niya. Monitoran mo niya. Mas maayo pa nga po ang
Hearing resumed. Ngayon naman po, ipakinggan po natin ang closing remarks po ng ating speaker, Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano.
Thank you to our two very able chairpersons. Sa ating mga kababayan, we, the sovereign Filipino people, imploring the aid of Almighty God in order to build a just and humane society and establish a government that shall embody our ideals and aspirations, promote the common good, conserve and develop our patrimony, and secure to ourselves and our posterity the blessing of independence and democracy under the rule of law and a regime of truth, justice, freedom, love, equality, and peace, do ordain and promulgate this Constitution. These are the words that embody the soul of our Constitution, the Philippine Constitution. The preamble is more than just a set of ideals strung together without rhyme or reason. It establishes the foundation of what we hold as immutable truths and guides us as one nation seeking to understand right from wrong. It underlies our very democracy and the freedoms that spring from it. The preamble of the Philippine Constitution articulates a vision of a God-fearing and democratic Filipino people, so that when we are in doubt, pag may duda po tayo, as to the kind of society we are committed to, kung anong klaseng lipunan po ang ating pong pinagdadasal at hinahangad, and as to what government has been established for. Pag nag-iisip tayo, para saan ba na meron tayong gobyerno? We can simply go back to the preamble and reconnect with our core. It is a touchstone of those beliefs and values that breathe life into our democracy, remind us of our unique Filipino identity, and helps us define who we are as a people. Again, in case of doubt, when we are adrift in troubled waters, the preamble is the lighthouse, shining a path to safe harbor. Isang gabay, hindi lamang sa uri ng ating lipunan at gobyerno, isang gabay kung ano ang tama at anong mali. Filipinos believe in democracy, but we are also mature enough to accept that democracy is not perfect. Yet, despite its imperfections, we hold that the democratic ideal of a government of the people, by the people, and for the people remains the best system in the world. At a time where so much of what we thought was permanent has been shown to be mere illusions that can be washed away in an instant, the words of the preamble provides a comfort to our people, as it speaks of a vision of the Philippines that is built on equality among its citizens and an abiding trust in the democratic institutions that are meant to protect and promote our well-being. In crucial times, I constantly look to these words that articulate our common vision. As I ponder on the matters that are laid before the House of the People, I do not speak merely about the franchise application of one network, but rather of the bigger picture that it represents. There's no doubt, mga kababayan, this franchise issue has a bigger picture and is more than just simply giving a franchise to a private corporation. For there is a bigger picture, one that spreads far beyond the business interest of one family and the concerns of one corporation. If perhaps we had to go through this process without the shadow of this pandemic looming large in our collective futures, then it is likely that many of these issues we had to discuss these past days would have a different weight and bearing. Maaring instead of 12 hearings, baka 25 hearings ito. Ngunit, but as we cannot change the circumstances that we find ourselves in, so we do it with as best we can, with the resources that we have and the time that we have on hand. Taken against the massive loss of lives and livelihood brought about COVID-19, the issue of this franchise pales into nothingness. As I have said in the past, we cannot possibly measure the fate of one corporation against the millions of our kababayans in the Philippines that are all around the world who are now in economic and public health limbo. During these past months, as the whole world struggled to cope with the effects of the virus and the entire nation convulsed with the disruption of our lives brought about by the quarantine, Congress has not been idle. Nagtatrabaho po ang Kongreso. To our critics, yes, we may disagree on many things, yet it is not only unproductive, it is irresponsible, and it is irresponsibly detrimental to our collective efforts to defeat COVID-19 when we give a public and false impression that we in the House of the People have not been focused during this crisis, or are somehow not in touch with what was happening on the ground. Nung hindi namin tinitake up ang ABS-CBN, sabi ng pangalawang Pangulo, i-take up nyo kaagad. Ngayon na nagtinitake up natin, marami daw mas importante. Yes, as we required of us and despite valid reservation, we have tackled the contentious matter of the franchise application of ABS-CBN. But away from the public limelight and media scrutiny, we have also prioritized the needs of our citizens in response to the current crisis. Aside from Republic Act 11469 or the Bayanihan to Heal as One Act that provided more than 200 billion pesos for the government social amelioration program and more than 100 billion more for response, including for our frontliners and for PPEs. This also includes, among other, the passage on second and third reading of House Bill 6817, an act that penalizes the discrimination of people afflicted and suspected to be positive with COVID-19. House Bill 6953, or the Bayanihan to Recover as One Act, which focuses on the response and recovery interventions of COVID-19 pandemic, which we expect to be tackled in a special session soon. House Bill 6815, the Arise or Accelerated Recovery and Investment Stimulus for the Economy of the Philippines Act, a stimulus package with an appropriated amount of 1.3 billion, which we are looking for. Dahil sabi po ng Finance Department, we don't have that money. So congressmen and women are working hard looking for this money that provides for programs and policies to promote growth and sustainable development in response to the economic loss in the country from COVID-19 pandemic. House Bill 6864, or the Better Normal for the Workplace, Communities and Public Spaces Act, that establishes practices that should be observed by Filipinos for the duration of the pandemic. House Bill 6920, the Cures or COVID-19 Unemployment Reduction Economic Stimulus Act, that establishes a special fund with an appropriated amount, a few billion pesos, that shall be dispersed primarily for the implementation of infrastructure projects across this priority area. Sorry, I think to the trillions of pesos, no? Health, education, agriculture, local infrastructure, livelihood. Or yung sinasabi po natin na agriculture and tourism-related infrastructure. As well as 10 other bills pending and resolutions specifically for the purpose of helping our frontliners. We have held investigations in aid of legislations and inquiries to the Meralco billing of our electricity consumption. We have heard the DSWD on the 4Ps, the social amelioration. We have heard the different departments involved in the repatriation and reintegration of our OFWs. So hindi po natutulog sa pansitan ang Kongreso. I say this for the benefit of our Vice President, who, despite appearing to be clueless as to the real work of this Congress, has done nonetheless feels it's her duty to instruct this House on how it should conduct its business. Ginagawa po namin trabaho namin, hindi lang po nalalive sa TV, lahat ng aming mga hearings. I have directed our Press and Public Affairs Bureau to provide the Office of the Vice President or the Office of Vice President Robredo with the pertinent bills for her future press statements. And so there is hope. There is a light at the end of this particular long and dark tunnel. And no, it is not the light coming from an oncoming train. Rather, it is genuinely the rays of a new dawn. This is the hope that springs from the ideals set forth in the Preamble. One that cannot be extinguished by famine, war, pestilence, nor perish in even the most toxic political climate or the deadliest pandemic. Before we even started with these hearings, I, with many of our colleagues, had already expressed our apprehension that the divisiveness that comes with this franchise issue may be too heavy a burden for our already overtaxed political balance to bear. Sadly, I note that my fears to some extent have been realized. Instead of being a process of understanding and healing, the take no prisoners, give no quarters attitude of extremists on both sides of the question, lalo po sa social media, have only served to widen the gaps between our people. And as we draw the hearings to a conclusion, we are nowhere near to resolving the political divide. Yes, malapit na po tayo from deciding and solving this issue. pero po kailangan din pansinin ng Kongreso yung pagkawatak-watak ng mga kapwa Pilipino. But we must do so. Our survival depends on it. We cannot continue on as we have in the past. The destructive swat left by the virus on our lives have made sure that there's no going back to how we were once, how we lived once before. No, yung old normal, wala na po yun. We're looking for a new normal, a better normal. Pero let's not kid ourselves na yung dati nating alam na buhay ay mababalikan basta-basta. We can only move forward, whether it is dealing with COVID-19 or dealing with the ABS-CBN franchise application. As a people and as a nation, we find ourselves at a crossroads. A crossroad where we actually do agree on many things. Yet, ironically, we remain in disagreement on how to deal with the vital decisions that we have agreed upon. Just a few minutes ago, you heard Chairman Mike Defensor and you heard our Deputy Minority Leader argue on certain things. But actually, they are in agreement about the dangers of oligarchy in our country. So meron po talagang agreement, pero meron po talagang disagreement. Example po, we all agree that we have to get rid of illegal drugs and narcotics. But we disagree how. We all agree that crime is a problem and that must be addressed immediately. Lalo po pag nakita natin mga karumal-dumal na krimen na napapanood po natin na nangyayari halos araw-araw. But we disagree on the solution. We all agree that we have to deal decisively with terrorism. But we disagree on the methods. We all agree on the freedom of the press must be protected. But as these hearings have shown, we disagree from whom and how. We will all agree on the basic premise that big business, conjoined with commercial media, should not be allowed to engage in partisan politics by wielding its power to protect their interests, meddle and interfere in elections, and surreptitiously support certain candidates in the guise of reporting the news. Ulitin ko po siguro agree po tayong lahat na ang malalaking negosyo, lalo po kung sila po ay powerhouse sa media, hindi dapat makialam sa eleksyon para protektahan ang kanilang kandidato o itaguyod ang kandidato para maprotektahan ang kanilang interes. Sa hearing na to, walang sino man po sa pro o anti ang nagsabing okay yan. Ang naging usapan, kung ginagawa ba yan o hindi ng ABS-CBN at ng pamilyang nagmamay-ari nito or Lopez family. So we agree on the premise, but we disagree on many other things. We will agree on how we must deal with not just the particular franchise of ABS, but on the larger issue of big business and media's participation, partisanship in our electoral process. Yes, we agree na dapat gawin ang tama, labanan ang mali. Ngunit sa issue na to, sino ang tama, sino mali. I have often compared, just like Deputy Speaker Marcoleta and other of our colleagues have compared, the news between Channel 2 and Channel 7. The news between certain newspapers. And without casting judgment at this point in time, malinaw naman pagka yung isang network katulad ng GMA7 po, no? May negative din naman po. Binibira din naman po tayo o ilan po sa atin. Pero bakit hindi po ina-accuse ng bias? Kasi po walang negosyong hiwalay na prinoprotektahan. So bantay na bantay yung newscast sa kanilang kahalagahan na maging objektibo, no? Hindi ko sinasabi na lahat ng mga may negosyo ginagamit yung kanilang media arm para protektahan ang kanilang negosyo. Ang sinasabi ko lang, we know that there is an evil wherein you put the two together. In the same manner that if I am a public servant but I am also an elected official, making me a politician, if I own the largest network in the country, napaka-hipokrito naman natin kung sasabihin hindi nagagamit ni Alan yan para itaguyod ang kanyang kandidatura. That's why we should also keep media away from the hands of politicians, but also from the hands of big business. As to the matter at hand, I firmly believe that knowing right from wrong and acting according to the benefit of the public good is what holds our society together. That is our social contract, that those who have will always look out for those who have not. It is what defines and strengthens our democracy. And at times like this, it may only it may be the only protection that the least of our brethren will have against the uncertainty of the future. Which is why society finds it so intolerable, so despicable, when someone influential and powerful, whether he or she is a politician, a businessman, a media personality, or anyone in the position of privilege, abuses the very system meant to protect the people. It is the ultimate injustice and the betrayal, pagtatraidor, o yung bantay sa lakay, when our protectors turn out to be our biggest tormentors. Kaya nga po sumikat din po ang news ng lahat ng ating channel, lalo po ABS-CBN at saka GMA7 at yung iba, dahil po sila ang bantay sa mga abusado sa ating lipunan. When we started this hearing, we listened to the owners and officers of ABS-CBN admit that they were not perfect, and I welcome this. We were hopeful then that this admission would pave the way for a redemptive process. Isang proseso kung saan pinapakita yung mali at paano itatama yung mali. One that would help the nation heal from the divisive nature of this issue. We have had lengthy discussions during these hearings on who and what is right or wrong, what is legal, what is moral, what is illegal, what is legal but against public policy, for example. But given more time, I would have wanted the proceedings go to the deeper into the roots of these principles and pierce the corporate veil to see into the historical and factual context of these issues being discussed. It is my hope that in the future, we can pursue this matter further to prevent the abuse of the system. Baka po yung Blue Ribbon Committee na pinangungunahan po ni Congressman Chairperson Alvarado po ang tamang o akmang committee po na mag-handle dito. President Franklin D. Roosevelt said, "The liberty of a democracy is not safe if the people tolerated the growth of private power to a point where it becomes stronger than the democratic state itself. That, in its essence, is fascism, ownership of government by individual, by a group, or any controlling private power." I agree po with this statement. Pag naging masyadong makapangyarihan po ang isang pribadong korporasyon o isa pong mayaman o makapangyarihan sa ating bansa na parang siya na may-ari ng gobyerno, it is even a bigger threat to our democracy. The time has come for us to make a decision that would hinge on facts, public policy, and existing law, just opposed to issues that go to the core of our democracy. How shall we decide on the claims that it will be a blow to press freedom if the owners of a private media corporation is denied the privilege of using public airwaves for private business that protects their interests and supports their handpicked candidates while targeting those who oppose them? I submit that this is not press freedom. It is the theft of government from the people while hiding under the pretense of press freedom. So this is what we will have to decide. Totoo bang may isang korporasyon na prinoprotekta ng interes at ginagamit ang media para sabihin press freedom? Or totoo bang may mga nagagalit lang dahil tinatamaan sa news nila at objektibo po sila? The use of media for propaganda is not a new concept. I think since na-imbento ang news or even before that, meron ng propaganda. We were victims of it during the years of the dictatorship, and it has left deep scars of distrust in our views of relationship between government and media industry. Kahit yung panahon po nung Hapon, o kahit na po nung niliberate tayo ng Amerikano, pero inassimilate po tayo, marami pong news doon na propaganda. But even as we guard against the abuse of public officials and the peculiar and sacred place that free press holds in our consciousness, blinds us to the fact that big business is just as likely to use media to mold public opinion and perception as the meanest tyrant. So wag po tayo pumayag na maging diktatorial ang kahit sinong gobyerno sa Pilipinas. Wag tayong pumayag na ang politiko ay didikta sa media. Pero ganun din po yun kung big business ang didikta sa ating media. These hearings, despite the unfair and unwarranted attacks it has elicited from both from the supporters and haters of ABS-CBN, has afforded the nation with a rare glimpse on the fragility of our democracy, on how the very pillars that we thought were holding it up were merely facades that hid the ugly, selfish side of the political system. An elitist system that sadly still favors and protects those whose days are spent behind gated subdivisions, while casting to the wind those Filipinos who have to scourge for the very walls that make up their homes. In Ecclesiastes chapter 3, we are reminded that there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. A time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to tear down and a time to build. And in every time and in every season, whatever the Lord sees fit to give, we have to trust in His wisdom. He will make the fullest of it. So tayo din po, kung ano man ang payagan ng Panginoon na season, we have to make sure we make the fullest of it. So we will have to make this hard decision. So let us make sure that this decision counts and will put the Philippines on the right path towards strengthening us as a democratic country that cares for our people. And so whatever the outcome of these hearings, I am satisfied that we have heard and what we have heard that can be the basis of a legally and morally sound decision. Whether Congress grants the ABS-CBN or the Lopezes another 25-year franchise or denies the application. Now, as we await the final decision, I would respectfully ask all parties to refrain from making speculation. Wala pong mangyayari po kung magsisiraan po tayo or may fake news or worse, resorting to lies and false information that can only muddle the issue. Believe me, nothing will come out of it except maybe more grief for your cause, as no member of Congress wants to be manipulated. The media doesn't want to be manipulated. Businessmen and women don't want to be manipulated. But kami dito sa Congress, ayaw din po namin na kami ay mamanipulate. Despite everything that has been said and done, I am hopeful that we'll be able to rise above our partisan sentiments for the good of the nation and strengthening of our democracy. I would like to urge my colleagues in the House to put the same energy, the same dedication in addressing the continuing needs of the people as a result of COVID-19. Actually po, mas malakas pa energy natin anti-COVID-19. Hindi lang kasi live ang bawat hearing compared dito sa hearing ng ABS-CBN. As we look for ways to solve the big problems of our economy, let us not forget to devote equal time to finding solutions to the day-to-day problems facing those whose livelihood have been adversely affected. Mga barbero, mga massage therapist, maliliit na kalenderya, mga may stalls sa mga iba't ibang mga mall, mga taxi, jeepney, tricycle drivers, and both the performing and creative artists, entertainers, singers, dancers, actors and actresses, the entire creative industry, no? Not just those belonging to ABS-CBN. They are very hard hit by this pandemic. But it is them who bring color, light, and happiness to our lives. Huwag natin i-underestimate o langin, di ba, ang entertainment at yung kasiyahan na dinadala sa atin. Kaya nga maraming may mental health problem sa lungkot. No? At ito pong mga artista, ating pong OPM, ating pong mga creative artists, performing artists, ang ating nasa advertising industry, yung pong mga nasa event industry, no? Sila po nagbibigay ng kulay sa atin buhay. So, over and above this ABS-CBN issue, let's do more to show them that we are here for them and we're also preparing for a new normal for them. I thank the leadership and members of the Committee on Legislative Franchise and the Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability, Chairperson Alvarez, Chairperson Alvarado, maraming salamat sa inyong dalawa. Sa lahat po ng membro ng committee, sa lahat po ng authors, sa lahat po na nagsalita, sa lahat po ng resource persons, including din po ang ABS-CBN management, at lalo po dun sa mga resource persons na medyo mahirap at masakit na magsalita, pero ginawa pa rin nila ang kanilang magagawa. So lastly, may I appeal to every member of Congress and to the people they represent. Makinig po tayo. Let's listen to the summations that are coming today. Yung pong magsasalita na isa-sum up po niya
ang kanyang pagkaintindi at mga i-highlight na punto sa 12 hearing. Let's review important points. Nasa YouTube naman po yan at nasa Facebook accounts naman ng Congress. Let's review yung mga nangyari sa hearings. In that way, we can all form a judgment that is well-informed. God bless the Filipino people. God bless the Philippines. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat.
Maraming salamat po, Speaker Alan Cayetano, at napakasarap po na marinig na ang mga miyembro ng joint committee ito ay pinapasalamatan no less than ng ating minamahal na Speaker of the House, Alan Peter Cayetano. Gayon na rin parang nakapagbalik tanaw tayo sa ating panahon nung nag-aaral tayo sa eskwelahan, kinakabisa natin yung preambulo. Ito, binigay na naman sa atin yung preambulo. Isang paalala na kailangan manatili ang hustisya, kalayaan, pagmamahal, pagkakapantay-pantay, at kapayapaan sa ating bansa, lalong-lalo na sa loob ng hearing na ito. Ngayon po, ang susunod na magpapayo sa atin at magbibigay ng kanyang manifestation, ang ating minamahal at ginagalang na Majority Leader Martin Romualdez.
Maraming salamat po, Chairman Jonathan Kuya C. Alvarado. Honorable Speaker Alan Peter Compañero Cayetano, Chairman Franz Chicoy Alvarez, Chairman Kuya Jonathan C. Alvarado, Chairman Michael T. Defensor, my dear colleagues in the House of Representatives, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Today, we are gathered in this august chamber to hear the closing arguments on the issue at hand, whether ABS-CBN deserves to be given the special privilege of a franchise to operate and maintain radio and TV broadcasting stations in the Philippines. Two of our brilliant and eloquent colleagues, Deputy Speaker Dante Marcoleta and Representative Rufus Rodriguez, will speak before us to summarize the issues that have been discussed lengthily and exhaustively for the past 2 months. As held by the Supreme Court, and I quote, "A legislative franchise is a special privilege granted by the state to corporations. It is a privilege of public concern which cannot be exercised at will and pleasure, but should be reserved for the public control and administration either by the government directly or by public agents. Under such conditions and regulations as the government may impose on them in the interest of the public. It is the Congress that prescribes the conditions on which the grant of the franchise may be made, and thus the manner of granting the franchise to whom it may be granted, the mode of conducting the business, the charter and the quality of service to be rendered, and the duty of the grantee to the public in exercising the franchise are almost always defined in clear and unequivocal language." End quote. Before the Congress went on sine die last March, the House of Representatives unanimously approved my motion to allow our standing committees to continue holding sessions and meetings during the legislative break. The Majority Leader's motion was made precisely to allow the Committees on Legislative Franchises and Good Government and Public Accountability to continue their deliberations on all measures related to the application for the franchise of ABS-CBN Corporation, even while the House of Representatives was not in session. Nakinig po tayo sa panawagan ng sambayanan. The majority of our people are eagerly anticipating the decision of the House regarding the franchise application of this giant broadcast network. This issue, I must admit though, has deeply divided the nation at marami po ang nagpahayag na gusto nilang magbukas muli ang ABS-CBN. Pero marami rin ang nagsasabi na wag nang bigyan ng bagong prangkisa ang ABS-CBN. Both sides have valid arguments for or against the granting of the new franchise. Thus, despite the limitations brought by the COVID-19 pandemic, we attended to the call of duty and continued our discussion on ABS-CBN's franchise application. And for the record, the Joint Committee held 12 hearings. These hearings lasted an average of 9 hours per day. Some of the hearings even lasted past midnight, literally burning the midnight oil. For their hard work and perseverance, I salute the chairman and the members of the two committees, as well as the other House members who've attended the hearings so diligently. Let me also extend my warmest appreciation to all the congressional staff and House Secretariat who toiled with us in the trenches day and night. Pasensya na po kung hindi kayo nakabakasyon sa Sine Die break, but after we conclude our deliberation on the ABS-CBN franchise application, I pray that all House members who will vote on this issue will be guided primarily by the sense of duty as elected representatives of our Congress. In casting our votes, may the Constitution and existing laws of the land be our compasses. Also, I trust that the summation of facts that will be presented to us today will be of great value in making fair and impartial judgment. Let the facts and not innuendos or hearsays steer us to a wise decision. And I also now appeal to our people to respect whatever judgment is rendered by the House of Representatives on the issue. The framers of our Constitution have deemed it wise to give Congress the power to grant franchises, knowing fully well that our elected legislators will uphold the interest of their constituents at all times. Rest assured that the voice of our constituents and the voice of our people will prevail. Thank you all. God bless you all. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas.
Maraming salamat, Majority Leader Martin Romualdez, at mula po sa mga miyembro ng bumubuo ng committee ito, kami po ay nagpapasalamat hindi lang po kay Majority Leader, kung hindi sa buong bumubuo ng Committee on Rules, kasama na po ang ating minamahal na Speaker Alan Cayetano, sapagkat hindi rin po sila umuuwi hanggat hindi kami natatapos sa aming mga hearing. Maraming salamat po. Chairman Chigoy.
Salamat, Chair Jonathan. Ngayon naman po, dadako na po tayo sa summation. Atin pong tatawagin si Congressman Caloy Zarate para po sa kanyang summation po. Kong Caloy.
Isang maalab na pagbati sa ating mga kasamahan sa Kamara, kay Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano, sa ating Majority Leader Martin Romualdez, sa ating Minority Leader Benny Abante, sa ating Chair Chicoy Alvarez ng Committee on Legislative Franchise, Chair Jose Alvarado ng Committee on Good Government, at sa lahat ng ating mga mamamayan, ating mga kababayan na nakasubaybay sa pagdinig ng Kongreso sa usapin ng prangkisa ng ABS-CBN. Mayo 5 po ng kasalukuyang taon nang biglang pinatigil ng National Telecommunications Commission ang pagbo-broadcast ng ABS-CBN. Makaraan ang 10 araw, dumating sa ating kapuluan ang Bagyong Ambo. Sinabi po ni Leo Gipalaga ng Artiche Samar na ginutay-gutay ng bagyo. Ito po ang kanyang tinuran. Kayo pa lamang ABS-CBN ang nakarating dito na media. Kahit anong media, wala pang nakapunta dito. Ang kwentong ito ay nauulit hindi lamang 10, hindi lamang 100 o 1,000 beses. Sa loob po ng mahigit na 60 taon, andun na ang ABS-CBN sa lahat ng kalamidad. Sila ay naghahatid ng balita, nangunguna magbigay ng relief and rehabilitation. Ginagamit ang media para makapangalap ng donasyon para sa mas mabilis na pagbangon ng ating mga kababayang nasalanta. Sa katunayan, mga kasama, nandoon na ang ABS-CBN sa pagsabog ng Mount Pinatubo o sa trahedya ng Yolanda. Kaya kamakailan, nasabi ng isang survivor ng Taal Volcano eruption sa public service team ng ABS-CBN nung pumunta ito doon sa kanilang lugar. Alam naming darating kayo. Kaya ito pong Marso 12, pinatupad din sa ating lugar ang community quarantine dahil nga dito sa pandemya ng COVID. Si Reynaldo Alcala, isang taxi driver, ay na-interview ng TV Patrol at naluluha siyang isinaad. Ganito po ang kanyang tinuran. Magugutom talaga kami pag hindi kami bumabiyahe. Mahirap pag naging mahirap. Marso 19, inilunsad kaagad ng ABS-CBN ang pantawid pag-ibig. Ginamit ang media para manawagan sa private sectors at sa mga lokal na pamahalaan na magtulong-tulong para sa milyon-milyon nating mga kababayan na walang makain dahil hindi na sila makapaghanap buhay. Hindi lamang sa salita at sa balita, ang serbisyo publiko ay ginagawa ng ABS-CBN ng maraming taon na. Tayo pong mga mambabatas, mga kongresista, marahil marami sa atin ay hindi pa ipinanganak. Ang hindi pa ipinanganak, subalit naglilingkod na ang ABS-CBN sa ating mga kababayan, lalong-lalo na sa ating mga kababayang mahirap. Gayunpaman, pinadaan natin sila sa marahil sa pinakamahabang franchise hearing sa buong kasaysayan ng ating bansa. Ang ibang nag-a-apply para sa prangkisa, walang kapawis-pawis, kaunting araw o kaunting oras lamang ang nagdaan, ay meron na silang prangkisa. Pero ang ABS-CBN, pinadaan natin sa butas ng karayom. Subalit, hindi naman ito masama. Ito ay naging pagkakataon para mapatunayan natin na kahit na ang pinakamasusing pagsasala, lumutulutang ang katapatan at ang integridad ng ABS-CBN network. At hindi lang ito sabi-sabi. Sino ang nagpatutuo nito? Mismong mga ahensya ng gobyerno, ang Department of Justice, ang Bureau of Immigration, ang Securities and Exchange Commission, ang Presidential Commission on Good Government, ang desisyon ng Regional Trial Court, ang kataas-taasang hukuman, ang Bureau of Internal Revenue, ang PESA, ang COMELEC, at maging ang Department of Labor and Employment. Hinungkat natin, halimbawa, nung una, ang citizenship ni Ginoong Gabi Lopez. Mayroong nagbibintang na siya ay hindi Pilipino, kaya hindi maaring maging may-ari ng isang media company. Pero ano po ang sabi ng Department of Justice at ng Bureau of Immigration? Sinabi po nila, si Ginoong Gabi Lopez ay ganap na Pilipino. Pinaliwanag ito ni Justice Undersecretary Emeline Aglipay-Villar at ganito po ang kanyang tinuran noong ating pagdinig noong June 5, 2020. Sabi po niya, tungkol sa pagbibigay ng kumpirmasyon sa citizenship ni Mr. Gabi Lopez, hindi ito pamamaraan ng pag-grant o pag-perfect ng citizenship. Dahil siya po ay mayroong magulang, both father and mother, na Filipino citizen. Kaya sa kanyang pagkapanganak, siya ay isang Filipino citizen. Dagdag pa dito, ito naman ang sinabi ni Justice Assistant Secretary Nicholas T. sa usapin ng partisipasyon ng may sinasabing dual citizenship sa pagmamayari ng mass media. Ano po ang sabi niya? Ganito po. Sinabi niya ito sa ating pagdinig noong June 8, 2020. Quote, "From a legal perspective, it appears that there is no distinction made between pure Filipino and dual citizens when it comes to participation on these activities." Ang pahayag na iyon ay sinang-ayon na naman din ng Commissioner ng Securities and Exchange Commission, si Ginoong Ipair Luis Amatong. At ang sabi niya, sa pagdinig na ginawa rin natin noong June 8, 2020, sabi po niya, and I quote, "Our interpretation of the dual citizenship law has been similar to that of the Department of Justice. A dual citizen is 100% Filipino." Sinabi rin ito ng Legal Department ng Securities and Exchange Commission na pwedeng maging may-ari si Ginoong Gabi Lopez ng isang media company. Sa madaling salita po, mga kasama, mga kababayan, walang pagkakasala. Sinabi din ng Securities and Exchange Commission sa usapin naman ng pagbibenta ng ABS-CBN ng Philippine Depositary Receipts or PDR, na itong araw ay alinsunod sa ating mga batas. Kaya muli, walang pagkakasala. Ganito ang naging pahayag ni SEC Commissioner Amatong, and I quote, "At the time when the PDRs were issued in 1999 and registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission, the prevailing view at that time was that the PDRs do not reflect transfer of ownership to foreigners." Close quote. Sinabi po niya ito sa ating pagdinig noong ika-11 ng Hunyo 2020. Sumunod naman po, madaming kumalat na fake news na nagsasabing ang ABS-CBN daw ay hindi nagbabayad ng buwis. Pero ano po ang sabi ng BIR? Malinaw po ang sinabi ng mga kinatawan ng BIR nung andito sa ating pagdinig. Ang ABS-CBN ay palaging bayad sa buwis. Katunayan, ito ay isa sa pinakamalaking taxpayers ng Pilipinas. Sinabi rin ng PEZA, walang tax shield na ginawa ang ABS-CBN. Ganito po ang tinuran ni Ginoong Manuel Mapoy, ang BIR Assistant Commissioner for Large Taxpayer Service, nung ating ginawang pagdinig noong unang araw ng Hulyo sa kasalukuyang taon. Ano po ang sinabi niya? And I quote, "ABS-CBN Corporation is regularly paying taxes for the past years. Ang total payment po ng ABS-CBN from 2016 to 2019 ay inabot ng 15,382,423,364 centavos. Close quote. Muli, mga kasama, mga kapwa ko mambabatas, mga kababayan, walang pagkakasala sa usapin ng pagbabayad ng buwis. Sumunod naman, ang mga pasilidad ng ABS-CBN ay kinuha sa kanila ng pamahalaan noong batas militar at ginamit ng pribadong kampanya nang hindi nagbabayad ng sapat na renta. Ang sabi ng Presidential Commission on Good Government, ang isang desisyon ng Regional Trial Court at maging desisyon ng ating Korte Suprema, ang ABS-CBN ay nararapat lang na maibalik sa mga pamilyang Lopez. Muli, naging ganito ang naging pahayag o testimonya ni Justice Assistant Secretary T sa ating pagdinig na ginawa noong June 18, 2020. Sinabi po niya, open quote, "Takeover is limited only to possession and does not include ownership of ABS-CBN." Close quote. Kaya malinaw po, muli, walang pagkakasala na maibalik ang ABS-CBN sa pamilya ng mga Lopez na kinuha sa kanila noong batas militar. Sumunod na usapin, sinabi ng COMELEC na ang ABS-CBN ay walang nilabag na election laws. Walang nilabag. Kaya muli po, walang pagkakasala. Sa usapin naman ng trabaho, totoo na ang ABS-CBN ay nagkaroon ng labor cases. Pero ang DOLE na mismo ang nagsabi, karaniwan sa mga malalaking kumpanya ang magkaroon ng labor cases. Ang sabi ng DOLE, ang ABS-CBN ay laging nagbibigay ng kooperasyon sa proseso ng paglilinaw sa labor cases at laging sumusunod sa inuutos ng batas. Sa katunayan, dito sa ating pagdinig nitong mga nakaraang mga araw, napag-alaman din natin na ang nagbibigay din ng mga benepisyo ang ABS-CBN on top of the statutory benefits na nakalagay sa ating mga batas. Kaya muli, sa usaping ito, walang pagkakasala na napatunayan. Mga kapwa ko mababatas, mga kasama, mga kababayan, nagsalita na ang mga ahensyang may pangunahing jurisdiksyon sa mga issues at usaping ibinabato sa ABS-CBN. Sa ilalim po ng Primary Jurisdiction Doctrine, agencies charged with particular regulatory duties are accorded respect on issues within their special competence. Kaya nga ang mga korte, kahit pwede pa nilang pagdesisyonan ng isang bagay, ay hindi nila ito ginagawa habang ang isang usapin ay nasa kamay na o nasa jurisdiksyon na ng isang administrative or regulatory agency. Kaya malinaw po ang binanggit ng mga inibitahan nating mga resource persons sa iba't ibang regulatory agencies. Walang napatunayang pagkakasala ang ABS-CBN. Muli, matapos ang napakaraming bintang, uulitin ko, walang napatunayan na pagkakasala ang ABS-CBN. Sa halip, nakita natin ang kanyang pakinabang sa bayan bilang tagapaglingkod. Sinabi din ng milyong-milyong Pilipino na ang ABS-CBN ang pinagkukunan nila hindi lamang ng impormasyon at aliw o balita, kundi pati na rin ng aral at inspirasyon. Noong ang ABS-CBN ay pinasara ng National Telecommunications Commission, kahit na nangako ang NTC sa kapulungang ito na hindi nila isasara ang ABS-CBN habang tuloy-tuloy na dinidinig ng kapulungang ito ang prangkisa nila. Ano po ang nangyari noong Mayo 5? Nakita natin sa mga viral videos na may mga taong minartilyo pa nga ang kanilang TV. Sa pagkakataong ito, tingnan po natin itong video na ito na may sila.
Hihinto po ng ABS-CBN ang pag-broadcast pagkatapos po ng ating
Alam po namin na maglingkod sa inyo, kabayan. Hindi kami mananahimik. Hindi namin kayo tatalikuran, kabayan.
Masakit sa amin dahil nasasara kami. Marami pa po tayong mga hangarin para sa Pilipino at sa ating bayan.
Parang anak mo na rin. Wala ka ng kwenta, wala ng ABS-CBN.
Corporation Channel 2 in the service of the Filipino.
Wala po kaming nilibag na batas at nangangako po kami na patuloy kami magsusumikap na maging mas mabuting kumpanya.
Dito sa ABS-CBN po, it's not just a job, it is a calling in the service of the Philippines.
Labis na sinusubok ang katatagan ng ating pamilya. Ang dating mga ngiti na palitan ng mga luha.
Ba't di ka naiyak? Wala ka nang mapanood, wala ka nang balita.
Talagang nakakalungkot ang TFC. Doon na pinupupulot at tumutulong ng lakas ng inspirasyon para umaba ang buhay namin dito sa Saudi.
It's so hard to accept kasi ito lang ang aming libangan.
Nanonood na po kami ng sine mo. Kaso ngayon wala nang po mapaglibangan ngayon.
Check mo yung TV Plus mo. Hintayin na lang na magbukas ulit.
Lumapag yung sinibaybayan mo, bigla na lang mawawala. Sa mga bata, ang kailangan.
Kaya please! Wala na.
Hindi lahat kasi ng channel dito malinaw, kaya kailangan i-BCBN talaga. Wala kami talagang mapagkuha na ng mga information.
Kasi kung umiyak ako, hindi ako nakapanood.
Nakakalungkot lang isipin kasi naging parte na siya ng buhay ko.
Kahit sabihin mo nakakapanood naman kami gamit yung
gadget namin. Iba pa rin kasi yung experience na sa TV mo talaga napapanood. Lalo na kung may mga kasama ka nanonood kasama pagkato ang pamilya mo.
Ang dating pagkasabik, napalitan ng panghihinayang.
Masama-sama na ng loob ko dahil yung mga tinutulong na po ng ABS-CBN na napakarami, yung mga pinag-aaral, paano na po yung mga bata na yun? Kami po nagmamakaawa sa inyo. Napakarami po nagkatulong ng tao dito, lalo-lalo na sa mga nasa ibayong bansa. Naiinis ako sa totoo lang na may mga natutuwa na hindi mawawala ng trabaho.
Hindi ko makita ano ang naging dahilan kung bakit nila nasara ang ABS-CBN.
Bakit pa kailan lockdown, sumabay pa yung pag-shutdown ng ABS-CBN.
Lalong naging malungkot ang buhay ng mga Pilipino dito.
Nawalan kami ng impormasyon tungkol sa kung ano ang mga kaganapan ngayon sa paligid. Nahihirapan kami sumagat ng balita.
Kung mawawala ang ABS-CBN, parang mawawala din kami ng kapamilya.
Hindi naman din po kasi yung channel mismo yung sinisira, mismo mga Pilipino.
Para sa ating mga pangarap at para sa katotohanan, hindi tayo mag-iiwanan.
Sana po, pagtulungan natin na maibalik po yung ABS-CBN sa ilit. Nakakamiss na po ng mga magandang parang sa ABS-CBN.
Yung ito, ragsak, ito pamilya.
Ito yung network na malaki yung malasakit sa mga bata.
Naway protektahan, yakapin ang buong pamilya, ang buong korporasyon ng ABS-CBN.
In the service of the Filipino, sa katotohanan na magbigay saya na may pagmamahal.
Mahal ko ang ABS-CBN. Simple lang po kasi mahal din kami ng ABS-CBN.
Kapamilya! Pahaya ang inyong nararamdaman.
Hindi maghihiwalay. Kapamilya! Masukol Family loves ABS-CBN.
Pamilya forever. Ibalik ang ABS-CBN.
Forever, pamilya! Pamilya
Ibalik ang kapamilya ng bawat Pilipino. Ibalik ang ABS-CBN.
Sa nakita po natin sa maiksing video na yan, ang matinding reaksyon ng ating mga kababayan. Hindi lang sa Pilipinas, kundi maging sa iba't ibang bahagi ng mundo. Ang ilan nga, itinapon ang kanilang TV set sa apoy o sa ilog. Aanhin pa daw nila ang kanilang TV kung wala ng ABS-CBN. Pero mga kapwa ko mambabatas, mga kababayan, sa likod ng kanilang pagpapatawa, meron silang sinasabi sa atin na mahalaga. At ano po yun? Bakit ninyo ipagkakait sa amin ang kaunting kaligayahan sa pang-araw-araw? Ang karamihan sa kanila ay hindi nagpapatawa. Sila ay mangiyak-ngiyak kasama ng mga elderly people, ang mga senior citizens, na nawalan ng paborito nilang mga programa habang nasa bahay sila ngayon dahil bawal nga silang lumabas dahil sa umiiral ng mga kwarantina. O maging ang mga kabataan na nawalan ng mga palabas na pambata. Sino po ang apektado ng ating pagpapa-shutdown o pagkakawala sa ere ng ABS-CBN? Halos lahat ng Pilipino, dahil halos lahat ng Pilipino ay umaasa sa ABS-CBN. Sa mga palabas, balita, at pati na rin sa iba't ibang serbisyo publiko, gaya ng Sagip Kapamilya, Bantay Kalikasan, at Bantay Bata. Kaya naman, nitong nakaraan, sa isang survey ng Summit Express nitong nakaraang Hulyo, 92%, 92% ng mga sumagot sa survey ay sang-ayon na mabigyan ng panibagong prangkisa ang ABS-CBN. Uulitin ko po ang sinabi ng surveying ito. 92% ng mga respondents ay nagsabi na pumapayag sila na dapat mabigyan ng panibagong prangkisa ang ABS-CBN. Meron pong mga lugar sa Pilipinas na walang ibang malinaw na signal kundi ang ABS-CBN lamang. Madami namang bansa sa mundo na nandoon ang ating mga overseas Filipino workers na nagsakripisyo para sa kanilang pamilya. Ano ang kasama nila para mapawi ang kanilang kalungkutan? Walang iba kundi ang mga palabas ng ABS-CBN. Ano ang ginagawa nila para maibsan ang kanilang mga pangamba? Walang iba kundi makinig sa mga balita ng ABS-CBN. Ngayong panahon ng pandemya, ang ABS-CBN ay may kakayahan na gawin tayong mas mapagmatyag para sa ating kalusugan. May kakayahan na manawagan para sa tulong para makakain ng ating mga kapatid na hindi na makapaghanap buhay. Ngayong hindi makakapasok sa eskwela ang ating mga anak, ang ating mga kabataan, ang ABS-CBN ay may karanasan at kakayahan para mapagpatuloy ang edukasyon ng mga bata kahit sa telebisyon man, sa radyo o sa digital media or sa cable. Ang ABS-CBN ay matagal nang may kaugnayan sa ating Department of Education sa pamamagitan ng Knowledge Channel at Programa Henyo. Pero pinatigil din ng NTC kahit na ang digital broadcast ng TV+. Kasama doon ang Knowledge Channel na katuwang ng mga magulang sa pagpapalawak ng karunungan at edukasyon ng ating mga anak. Kaya muli, isang mahalagang tanong. Ngayong panahon ng paghihirap, bakit pa natin dadagdagan ng mahigit 11,000 unemployed na dating mga breadwinner ang ating bansa? Ang ating bayan ay bayan ng mas nakakaraming mahihirap at kapos sa buhay. Ang kailangan nila ay isang media company na nakakatulong at nagmamalasakit. Isang media network na tinataguyod ang pakikiisa, ang bayanihan para maiangat natin ang isa't isa. Mga kasamahan ko sa Kongreso, mga kapwa ko mambabatas, ngayon ay magpapasya tayo kung ang ABS-CBN ba ay nararapat na bibigyan natin ng prangkisa o paparusahan natin ng isang pagtanggi sa kanilang aplikasyon. Ang tanong ko po, bakit naman natin papaparusahan ang isang kumpanya na walang pagkakasala? Bakit natin pipigilang maglingkod ang isang kumpanya at ang kanyang mga nasasakupan na may malaking pakinabang sa isang nagsisikap na bayan ng gaya sa atin? Bakit natin parusahan at supilin maging ang karapatan ng pamamahayag at karapatan ng ating mga mamamayan sa malayang daloy ng impormasyon? Mga kasamahan ko sa Kongreso, mga kapwa ko mambabatas, may mga iba't ibang dahilan na panggagalingan ang ating pagpapasya at ang ating boto sa mga sumunod na oras o araw. Subalit, ano nga ba ang ating papel at responsibilidad bilang mga mambabatas at bilang Kongreso? Walang iba po kundi ang gawin ang nararapat para sa interes ng ating nakararaming mga mamamayan. Hindi na kung ano ang ating pansariling interes. Hindi ang interes maging ng mga may-ari ng ABS-CBN o hindi maging ang interes ng iilan na interesado na maipasara ng tuluyan ang ABS-CBN. Ang ating papel at responsibilidad ay ang gawin kung ano ang nararapat para sa ating nakararaming mga mamamayan at para sa ating bayan. Kaya nagtitiwala po ako dahil tayo ay hinaral ng ating mga kababayang umaasa sa ating katapatan na tayo po ay boboto ng para sa interes ng karaniwang mamamayan. Huwag po sana nating biguin ang ating mga kababayan. Dinalangin ko na ang panggagalingan ng ating boto ay ang ating konsensya, gaya ng nabanggit ng ating kagalang-galang na speaker. Ang ating puso, ang ating pagmamalasakit sa kapwa Pilipino, ang ating pagpapahalaga sa kinabukasan ng ating mga anak at anak ng ating mga anak. Ang atin pong maging kapasyahan sa pambihirang pagkakataong ito ay magiging bahagi ng ating kasaysayan. Uulitin ko po, ang atin pong magiging kapasyahan sa pambihirang pagkakataong ito ay magiging bahagi ng ating kasaysayan. At tayo po ay huhusgahan ng kasaysayan sa ating magiging pasya sa usaping ito sa mga darating na oras at darating na araw. Kaya ako po ay nananawagan sa ating mga kasamahan sa Kongreso, sa mga miyembro ng Committee on Legislative Franchise, at sa lahat. Sumama po tayo sa panig ng matuwid at tama. Bigyan po natin ng pagkakataon, bigyan pa natin ng isa pang pagkakataon, ng muling pagkakataon, na makapaglingkod ang ABS-CBN at ang kanyang mga nasasakupan sa ating mga mamamayan at sa ating bayan. I-renew po natin ang kanilang prangkisa. Maraming salamat po sa inyo at maraming salamat po sa ating lahat. Magandang hapon po.
Maraming salamat, Kinatawan Sarate, ang nagsalita po para sa mga pro sa prangkisa ng ABS-CBN. Ikaw rin po ay parte na ng history ng kamarang ito at ng sambayanang Pilipino. Tayo po muna ay magkakaroon ng suspension habang hinihintay natin ang magsasalita para naman po sa kabilang panig. Hearing suspended. Congratulations po. The part of history, kung kauna-una. Kayo kauna-una ang ginagawa.
Pero naputol eh, nawala ang kung saan nasa penultimate ano na ako. Abuelo na yun. Alam ba? Oo nga eh. Okay na.
Hearing resumed. Ngayon naman po ay tatawagin natin si Deputy Speaker Marcoleta upang magpahayag para naman po sa mga side ng antay sa prangkisa ng ABS-CBN. Ang bagong crush ng bayan, Deputy Speaker Marcoleta, kayo na po ang magpapaliwanag.
Maraming salamat po, Chairman.
Deputy Speaker, dito po kayo sa podium po. Kung pong inyong mamarapatin.
Maraming salamat po, Chairman Alvarez at Chairman Alvarado. A legislative franchise is a special privilege granted by the state to those who deserve it. It is not a demandable right. A franchise is imbued with public interest. The grant comes with duties and responsibilities both to the people and to their government. ABS-CBN came before this joint committee with the burden to convince each one of us that it has consensuously and faithfully discharged those duties and responsibilities from the time it was granted the privilege to operate a broadcasting company under its previous franchise. Congress has the exclusive constitutional mandate to either grant or deny a franchise application. This authority is borne out by the fact that not all who applied was afforded such privilege, which is why ABS-CBN must convince this chamber and the people that it serves that it is indeed deserving of a franchise. First, let's hear from Mr. Gaby Lopez III himself. Ang sabi po ni Mr. Lopez sa kanyang mga pahayag, "In my heart, I am Filipino." Tama po ba yun, Mr. Lopez?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Madaling sabihin po kasi ito, Mr. Lopez. At kung hindi naman po dalawa ang puso ninyo, pwede ko bang itanong sa inyo, saan bahagi po ng dibdib ninyo ilalagay po si Uncle Sam? Mr. Lopez?
Sa dibdib po.
Ano po?
Hindi po sa dibdib.
Saan po? Dalawa lang po ba? Isa lang ang puso ninyo. Kung hindi naman dalawa, ang tanong ko po, saan nyo ilalagay si Uncle Sam?
Ang puso ko Pilipino. So, siguro ipapatupad ko lang yun.
Ipinanganak sa Amerika, nag-aral sa Amerika, nagnegosyo sa Amerika, bumoto sa Amerika, ginamit ang American passport sa maraming yugto ng kanyang buhay at paglalakbay. But now that his American citizenship has become a burden and even conflicts with our Constitution in regard to ownership and management of his Philippine business, how and to what extent does he treat his American citizenship? Can we see again that particular footage?
Siguro ipapato-pato ko lang yun. Siguro ipapato-pato ko lang yun.
Ang sabi po niya, ibabato-bato ko na lang. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how best describe and reveal the posturing of ABS-CBN. It's not about service. It's about convenience, the advantage, and all the benefits that come with it. It's not about the Filipino people. It is all about itself, nothing more and nothing less. Gabby Lopez is an American citizen. Wala pong pagdududa na si Ginoong Gabby Lopez ay isang American citizen. Inamin naman po niya ito sa ating mga pagdinig at wala rin pong duda. Walang Pilipinong birth certificate si Ginoong Lopez. Inamin po niya na hindi iniregister ng kanyang mga magulang ang kanyang pagkapanganak sa Amerika sa pinakamalapit na konsulado o embahada ng ating bansa. Maging siya po, nang sumapit siya sa hustong gulang, ay hindi po niya sinikap na kumuha ng Philippine birth certificate. Madali pong gawin to. Bukod pa po sa tungkuling dapat itong iulat ayon sa ating mga batas. Ang lagi pong iminamatwid ng ABS-CBN at ang kanyang mga kapanalig ay si Ginoong Lopez ay tunay na Pilipino dahil ang kanyang mga magulang ay mga Pilipino ayon daw po sa principle ng jus sanguinis. Kailangan po nating liwanagin ito. Ang principle ng jus sanguinis ay isang disputable legal presumption. Wala pong naipakitang ebidensya na Pilipino pa rin ang mga magulang ni Ginoong Lopez nung siya ay pinanganak noong 1952 sa Amerika. Kailangan po kasi napatunayan muna ni Ginoong Lopez na Pilipino pa rin ang kanyang mga magulang nung siya ay isilang para magkaroon ng visa, ang jus sanguinis principle. Hindi po automatic ang application nito. Narito po ang mga records na pinagbasihan para mabigyan ng Filipino recognition si Ginoong Lopez. Ang una po, nakikita po ninyo sa ating screen, mga photocopy ng personal na birth certificates ng kanyang mga magulang. Hindi po authenticated o opisyal na inisyu ito ng anumang ahensya ng ating bansa. Ang pangalawa po, yung affidavit of Filipino citizenship. Slide please. Na ginawa ng ina ni Ginoong Lopez noong Enero 20, 2000. Halos 50 taon pagkatapos may panganak si Ginoong Lopez. Sa mata po ng ating batas, ang isang affidavit ay isang self-serving testimonial evidence at ang tinatanggap lamang ay mga hindi maitatangging mga documentary o tinatawag na object evidence. Katulad halimbawa po ng Philippine passport ng kanyang mga magulang noong ipinganak si Ginoong Lopez. Pangatlo, Philippine passport ni Mrs. Conchita Lao Lopez na ipinagkaloob sa kanya noong January 27, 1998. Ang problema po dito ay inisyu po ito 46 na taon nang nakararaan pagkatapos na mapanganak si Ginoong Lopez at hindi katibayan na simulat sa pool ay may hawak na Philippine passport ang kanyang ina. Dahil po dito ay makikita mismo sa records ng Bureau of Immigration and Deportation at ng Department of Justice ang mga sulat kamay na minota ng evaluator noong March 27, 2001. Makikita po sa slide, kaugnay ng aplikasyon ni Ginoong Lopez for Filipino recognition, nakasulat po ay ganito. There is no proof of Filipino citizenship of his mother at the time of his applicant's, at the time of his, meaning the applicant, birth on August 13, 1952. Allegedly, his mother is also deceased. Nakapagtataka po na kahit sinabi ng evaluator na walang patunay na Pilipino ang ina ni Ginoong Lopez nang siya isilang, binigyan pa rin ng BID at DOJ ng Certificate of Recognition si Ginoong Lopez. Bakit po napakahalaga nitong handwritten note ng BID? Because there is the likelihood that the parents of Mr. Gabby Lopez, particularly his father, had already been naturalized American citizens, or at the very least had categorically renounced their Filipino citizenship at the time of or even prior to the birth of Mr. Lopez in 1952. This also could be explained by why they did not report his birth to the nearest Philippine embassy or consulate in New York at the time. Without such evidence of Filipino citizenship of his parents at the time of his birth, the principle of jus sanguinis could not have benefited Mr. Lopez. At kahit natanggapin po namin na Pilipino rin si Ginoong Lopez, ay malaking problema pa rin ang kanyang pagiging Amerikano na walang puwang sa mahigpit na tagubilin ng ating saligang batas na nakasulat sa Section 11, Paragraph 1, Article 16 of the 1987 Constitution. Nasa slide po yan. Alam ko po na na-memorize na po yan ng ating mga mamamayan na nakatutok sa mga pagdinig na ginaganap natin. It must be emphasized, Mr. Chair, that contrary to ABS-CBN submission, it is not the view of the Securities and Exchange Commission that matters here. It is not the opinion of the Department of Justice that will prevail here, not even the Bureau of Immigration or other agencies. It is the will of Congress that should be accorded due respect, simply because it is Congress that has the sole and ultimate authority to grant or deny application of franchises. Philippine Depositary Receipts or PDRs. The hearings also proved that ABS-CBN, through a shell company organized by Lopez Incorporated, also violated the constitutional restriction on foreign ownership and participation when it sold 187 million PDRs to foreigners, or 62.6% of the over 298 million PDRs issued by ABS-CBN Holdings Corporation, to which the same number of underlying shares of ABS-CBN were transferred. Due to the excessive rights afforded to the holders of the PDRs, said holders are deemed beneficial owners of the underlying stocks of ABS-CBN, with corporate control-enhancing mechanisms that can influence the major corporate actions that management may institute. This is, again, a clear circumvention of Article 16, Section 11 of the 1987 Constitution. Kahit na ABS-CBN Holdings ang nasa papel ng pagmamay-ari o karapatang bumoto sa shares ng stock representing the PDRs, hindi nito pwedeng ibenta ang mga nasabing shares dahil may contract of pledge with the Philippine Central Depository to hold the same in behalf of the holders as security for certain obligations of ABS-CBN Holdings Corporation. Hindi ba malinaw na pagbibigay ng kontrol ito sa mga dayuhang may hawak ng PDRs? Nandyan po sa slide yan. Lumitaw rin po sa aming pagsusuri ng mga foreign holders ay may option din na baguhin ang kanilang karapatan na sinasaad sa PDRs. Bagay na wala sa kontrol dito ang ating Securities and Exchange Commission. Bukod pa sa kanilang tanging karapatan na isalin o ibenta ito kahit kaninong individual, kahit walang pagsang-ayon ang Securities and Exchange Commission. Ang sabi nga ng isang prinsipyo sa batas, what cannot legally be done directly should not be done indirectly. Sa madaling salita, Mr. Chair, ang hindi dapat gawin sa patago, dapat itong gawin ng may pagsusumamo. Ang minamatid dito ng ABS-CBN ay ginamit naman daw ang PDRs bilang isang legal na instrumento sa maraming bansa. Ngunit ang hindi nila sinasabi ay wala namang restrictions ang mga ibang bansa tungkol sa pagmamay-ari o pamamalakad ng mass media sa kanilang mga bansa, gaya ng tagubilin sa atin. Gaya po sa Amerika, kahit 100% Filipino-owned ang TV or radio company, papayagan po ito. TV Plus and KBO pay-per-view. During the hearings, it was also proved, without doubt, ABS-CBN violated its franchise by airing multiple channels through its TV Plus. It was also proved that it sold digital receivers of black boxes to the viewing public without the approval of the NTC. It was also proved that it offered pay-per-view events in TV Plus without the approval of the NTC. Pati nga po ang laban ni Senator Pacquiao at Mayweather na walang pahintulot mula sa NTC, pinalabas din na may bayad. Lahat po ng ito ay pinatunayan ng chairman o chairperson ng NTC nang tayo ay dumidinig sa mga bahaging ito. NTC itself confirmed that based on its existing regulations, ABS-CBN was not authorized to encrypt or lock non-paying public its TV Plus channels using its free-to-air frequency under its franchise. Nasa slide po yan. NTC under oath declared that ABS-CBN completely disregarded its order or letter to refrain from airing PPB or pay-per-view services without the conditional access system guidelines that are yet to be formulated. ABS-CBN even utilized the platforms of its subsidiaries, namely Sky Cable Corporation, Amcara Broadcasting Network, and ABS-CBN Convergence in launching these illegal activities which, by the way, also compromised the respective franchises that are also being considered along with that of ABS-CBNs. Nagkasala ang ABS-CBN dito ng maraming beses. Pinangunahan nito ang NTC habang ito ay abala pa sa paggawa ng reglamentong ipatutupad sa tinatawag na conditional access system para sa pay-per-view. Sinadya nila ito sa kagustuhan nilang makinabang at kumita kahit wala pang itinakdang regulasyon, taliwas sa nakasaad sa termino ng kanilang prangkisa. Kung susumahin nga po ang multa doon lamang sa pagbebenta at paggamit ng, sabihin na lang nating 5 milyon na black boxes sa loob ng 5 taon at 4 na buwan, ang kwenta po ay aabot sa 1.97 trillion pesos. Hindi pa po natin sinasama dyan ang violation ng multiple channels. Alleged black timing with Amcara. Ganito rin ang napatunayan na ginawa ng ABS-CBN nang gamitin nila ang Channel 43 para lumipat mula sa analog papunta sa digital system. Mula pa sa demonstration per period na ibinigay ng NTC sa ABS-CBN, na hanggang June 30, 2015 lamang, ito ay nagpatuloy sa pag-broadcast ng TV Plus at pay-per-view incidents hanggang ito ay umabot ng 5 taon at 4 na buwan. At 1 taon bago matapos ang prangkisa ng ABS-CBN at Amcara, ay ibinenta ng ABS-CBN ang 49% ng kanyang pagmamayari dito sa Amcara na nagkukuha black timing lang ang lahat para mapagtakpan ang paggamit ng TV Plus sa pag-akala nito ng prangkisa ng Amcara ay hindi mapapansin na paso na rin noon pang May 4, 2020. Nabuko pa ang ABS-CBN ng mapatunayan sa pagdinig na hindi black time ang arrangement nila, kundi isang use of frac na ipinagbabawal po sa prangkisa. Ito po ay dahil sa pag-amin na rin ni Ginoong Karandang na halos 24 na taon ay ABS-CBN ang gumagamit ng kanilang frequency, gamit ang sariling logo, tauhan at pasilidad sa pag-ere ng kanilang programa. Pati nga ang kanilang transmitter na pinatunayan ng NTC at ni Ginoong Karandang na patuloy na ginagamit kahit sila ay may cease and desist order na tinanggap mula sa NTC noong May 5, 2020. Sa kabila po ng pagsiguro sa akin ni Ginoong Carlo Katigbak na sarado na ito dahil sa raw mismo ang nag-utos. Marami po ang makakasuhan ng perjury rito. For 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for the past 24 years, ABS-CBN did broadcast all its shows through the Studio 23 frequency of Amcara with only 3 hours sign-off. Nasa slide po yan. Amcara has no shows of its own. It has no other client except ABS-CBN. This is use of frac, not black timing. And ABS-CBN and Amcara have to face the legal consequences for this deliberate misrepresentation. At sa isang bahagi po ng pagdinig ay muli na naman po nilang tinangka ng ABS-CBN na palitawin at tuloy po ang usapan nila matapos ibenta na nito ang 49% sa pag-aari ng Amcara. Nang tanungin ko po ang Amcara kung papaano nila ito gagawin, Samantalang mayroon ng petisyon sa NTC na pagtibayin ng deed of assignment ng Amcara at Asian Multimedia and Production Company na kanilang pinagkasunduan noon Marso 12, 2019 ay wala na pong naisagot si Ginoong Karandang at inamin na po niya lahat na napatunayan ng bahaging ito ng ating pagdinig. Ang Asian Multimedia ay pag-aari ni Ginoong Federico Garcia, isang retiradong opisyal ng ABS-CBN. This surreptitious use of Amcara as an artifice demonstrates a familiar pattern, Mr. Chair. Ibinabato-bato na lang ang pagtitiwala ng sambayan ng Pilipino. ABS-CBN is more of serving itself, its benefit, and all the perks that go with it. ABS-CBN's doubtful title to their properties. Hindi lang po ang Filipino citizenship ni Ginoong Lopez ang kaduda-duda. Maging ang mga titulo ng ABS-CBN sa mga pag-aaring biglang naibalik sa kanila pagkatapos ng EDSA Revolution ay kaduda-duda rin. Mula sa salaysay ni po ay walang maipakitang record ng arbitration na nauukol sa pagmemayari ng ABS-CBN. Even the title to their property.
Kong Marcoleta, suspend muna tayo sandali. May technical difficulty lang. Hearing suspended.